So one of the tasks that you do as a software engineer is creating pull requests and describing all the things that you've changed in the code base. Now there is a tricky balance to doing this. You want the pull request description to be detailed so that other developers understand it, but not too detailed where they're lost in the sauce and they don't really understand what changed. So to help save a bunch of time at work and on my side projects, I created a marketplace called Agentic System Labs / Essentials. And this has a skill which is going to take all of the code that you basically worked on in your branch. It's going to commit it into small chunks. And then it's going to create the pull request and describe everything in a nice, concise format for other people to review. Now, before I show you how to set up this plugin, go check out agenticsystem.dev. This is my own collection of all of my skills, my plugins, my hooks that you can use yourself to become a much more efficient software engineer. Go ahead and join the waitlist. And when this is ready, I will send out an email for you all. So I just finished building out a giant feature in an application using my agent system. It basically planned everything. It implemented everything. It ran the tests. It checked stuff for code quality. And we're going to install that new plugin that I talked about. So let's go to plugin over here. And then you can go to your marketplace and just go ahead and type in Agent System Labs / Essentials. And that will find that plugin that I talked about. And we will just go ahead and set it up. Press space, press I, and now it's installed. You do have to reload your plugin. So go ahead and just say reload plugins and you should be good to go. All right. So at this point, I want to get all this stuff made into a pull request, because if I go over here and say get status, you'll see I have a bunch of changes. You know, it's a decent amount of changes, maybe 20 file changes. But it's nice if you can actually commit these in logical groups. So for example, I can group all of the new agent related functionality together. I can group all of the project picker functionality together. So I want to have like 5 or 6 different individual commits to help organize the changes over time. And then I want to get that in a pull request. I want to have the description automatically get made so then other people can actually start reviewing it. Let's go over here. I'm going to say ship PR. This is all you got to do. Make sure it's the essentials package here. And then I'm going to press enter. And that's going to do everything I just said. Now, the great thing about skills is you can actually take any skill and hook it into your existing workflows. So if you wanted to have a skill that basically created a work tree, did the work, and then automatically kicked off this ship PR skill, you can do that. And then basically you can kick off 10 or 20 of these different agents working in work trees, making the pull requests, and then later you can go through, you can actually review them. So we're going to look at the plan of what actually is going to change here. Now, at this point in time, this does require some human intervention. I do think having a human in the loop can make the output of these agents much higher. So definitely be watching and reviewing the plans as they're being generated. The first thing it's basically going to do is try to suggest that we have 2 commits and we have 2 different groups for doing these commits. So if you scroll down, group 1 says add rebindable hotkey infrastructure and refactor call site. So these are all the changes that it's going to basically commit inside of one group. And then group 2 is adding the key binding section to the settings page. So again, you can look through and see that, okay, these are new files that were added. These are things that were modified. And the rationale for doing this is all one atomic refactor, KBD. This is my key bindings component. Now they give you a rationale as to why this group is made, but if you're not familiar with the code, there's no point to really talking about this. But for group 2, I think it's a little bit more obvious that it wanted to make the UI changes a separate commit, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and say, yes, let's just commit this. And then finally, you'll see that it proposes a branch name for this commit. I went ahead and just pressed Y here so we can get this going. But you'll see here in a second, it should basically push all those commits to a branch, and then it's going to make a pull request on that branch, and then it's going to describe everything that changed. So now it's giving you kind of a draft of what the PR is going to look like. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that if there are other GitHub issues in your project, it looks through them first and tries to find which ones may have been relevant to what you're adding in, and it can automatically tag those. Secondly, it's going to find reviewers that might be relevant for the code as well. So if you have a team of people, it's going to find the most relevant people and just automatically tag them as reviewers. And then finally, we have a nice draft that tells you exactly what changed. I'm gonna go ahead and just type yes for opening the pull request. Now, I do believe you need the GitHub CLI in it to be authenticated for you to actually run these commands. So do keep that in mind if you want to try this tool out. But now we actually have a pull request and we can open this up. And this is what it kind of looks like. So we have what changed. Every global app shortcut, new agent, project picture, terminal toggle, dialog submit is now a user configurable from the settings page. Why? It gives you a how to review it, things to look out for, and then it also says it might address number 1. If you go look at number 1, add settings page to customize key bindings. Cool. So there's an entire issue already out there that links to the pull request we made, and the ship PR skill basically found that. And then also I didn't mention it does auto tag labels. So if you have labels set up in your GitHub project, it's going to find the ones that are relevant and tag those automatically for you so that I know this is a UI UX change and also a new feature. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any comments or feedback on this, let me know, but go check out agentsystem.dev, join the waitlist, and then also check out the repo. This is open source and public. You can use this Essentials plugin whenever you want. I'll put the link in the description below. Have a good day and happy coding.